think you guys could stand to be a little taller. Just like me. That's better. I need a little WD-40 on that. So Brad and I are getting ready to go on a socially distanced date. We were planning on playing golf today, and the weather's really bad, and so it didn't work out, but we had our nanny coming over anyway to watch the kids, so we're like, let's just go on a date because we have not been on a date in a while. I have like 3rd or 4th, maybe even 5th day hair going on and like leftover makeup from yesterday, and we're leaving in an hour. So I want to just spruce myself up. I thought I would film a get ready with me when I'm just like sprucing up 5th day old hair and putting makeup on over makeup and chat with you a little bit. This is something I don't feel like I can really do on my main channel, but this is the type of video I would always love to do and fits much better on this channel. I don't like the background in this clip, but that's just what we're working with. Maybe if I just come a little more centered. Do I need something on this wall? I mean, it's just behind the door here, but maybe some type of like, now that I'm looking at this, I have my laundry divided up while we're here. I might as well show you. I did this little project during quarantine to divide up laundry that I don't do loads of like every single day. So I have bulky things in here, and I use my handy dandy label maker for like towels and bulky items that I wash together. All of my microfiber I wash by itself, which I have microfiber face washes, like washcloths for my face, microfiber cleaning cloths, and microfiber window and mirror cleaners. And then in this side I have whites, which I wash separately from everything else. And I use like bleach and OxyClean on my whites to just make them super extra white. I think like a sign right here, maybe that says laundry, or I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you think would go well. One of the videos that I have planned for the future on this channel, there's just a few different areas in my house that I don't feel like are functioning well for us. One of them is in this laundry room where we are currently. These clips are amazing, by the way. Any products that I'm using in this video, I will try to find a link for and put them below. So this whole area does not function well for our family. We never ever hang clothes in here, so that bar is absolutely worthless, which makes like this whole area worthless. The cabinets are too tall for me. I can only reach the lower shelf in there, and there's 2 more above that. So like, I just need to make this work, that whole area work better for us. In a future video, it's going to be like sprucing up that area and making it work better. Speaking of dates, I don't think Brad and I have been on a date in at least a month. One thing that we were gonna try to do soon is make a family calendar, and I got this idea from Jordan Page. I really like a lot of her organizational tips that she has. I think she's on another level than I will ever be. I was talking to my friend about Jordan Page and like the system that she has in place for all of her kids and chores and homework and schedules and all that. And my friend said, wow, she doesn't have a family, she runs a business. And that's kind of like, it makes sense that she said that. I think that's a little bit harsh, but she does have things very locked down, which is nice. So she has a lot of kids, and I think she kind of needs to have a system in place like that, and that's how her, that's how she's making things work, and that's what makes her happy, and who am I to tell her what to do? But I've taken a lot of tips from her as far as like organizational things, and where was I even going? Oh, the family calendar. So her and her husband sit down at the beginning of the year and like kind of plan out their year. And what they do is they make sure, they just like share a calendar, a Google Calendar, I believe, and they make sure all of the birthdays and anniversaries and everything are in place in the calendar. They know that everybody's gonna need, 2 dentist appointments. They know everybody's gonna need just like a health and well-being checkup. So they go ahead and get all of those scheduled for the year and have them in their calendar. And then they fill in with other things, like during like a certain time of the year, do they want to take a family vacation? And they like start filling in all of those things at the beginning of the year, like the large bucket items. And then they also put in automatically, once a week they put in a date. I think it's once a week, which is probably lofty for us. I mean, if they can do it, we can do it, but I don't know. It's just like my parents still, I don't want to say like still have a social life, but they still like do a lot of stuff. So we can't depend on them once a week to watch our kids. And then we're just at a point where we really can only, especially if they're gonna be putting them down for bed while we're on a date, we can only really trust like my mom or our nanny to handle all three of them. Once they're a little bit older, I'll feel more comfortable with somebody else, I think, watching them while we go on a date, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier, but once a week I feel like is too much. I just don't think we can make that happen. Maybe once a week we can carve out time that we make a date, like even if it's just at home, and just like cook dinner together or something, and like let the kids watch a movie, or I don't know how we'll do it. Maybe just like have a glass of wine out on the screen and porch after the kids go to bed. I'm just doing a little dry shampoo because it's day 5 hair, and it makes it look more blonde, I think. And I love the Living Proof. If you guys watch our other channel, this is my favorite. I actually got it when the twins were born. I got it as like my shampoo, my dry shampoo to have while I was in the hospital. And so I always associated the smell with when the babies were born. And so it always reminds me of that. Speaking of dates and family calendars, I thought it was a good idea to just like have a day that you do something with each other, and then at the beginning of the week you look at the week and kind of go through what you have on the calendar together and figure out like what the date is going to entail and if it's even going to be able to happen, but at least the time is carved out and it's there. And I just thought that was a really good idea. We definitely need to be better about dating each other. And I keep saying that, and then Brad's response is always like, well, it's really hard in this season of life. Like, we can't be so hard on ourselves to, you know, like put our relationship, like have these relationship goals, I guess, when we have young kids, and things will even out and pan out and all that. So he's probably right. But I'm excited that we do get to have a date tonight. But a lot of time what ends up happening is like we golf and we hang out with my parents a lot. So we'll get our nanny to watch the kids, and then we'll do something with my parents. And it's like, that's not really, I mean, it's a lot of fun and we love them to death and we really enjoy hanging out with them, but it's not like a date when that happens. What ends up happening is like my mom and I talk, and then Brad and my dad talk, and so that's not really accomplishing the goal, I guess. So speaking of dating and relationships and babies, if you guys watch our vlogging channel, you'll know that we're like in this weird conversation that we've ultimately sort of just tabled for now about like whether or not we will have more babies and whether our family is going to be growing. Because right now, if you ask Brad, he would say definitely not. Getting pregnant is so far from like what's going to be happening in the near future that it's like, why would I even like think about that? But of course I am, and I know like a lot of it has to do with hormones, and I'm like breastfeeding my infant baby, who happens to be a really good baby. Not that there are bad babies, but she's a really good baby. She's been a dream and a joy, and she's so stinking cute. And so it's like, I think it's only natural that as a female in a childbearing age, while I'm breastfeeding a baby, that I have like that nesting sense, and I hormonally am being driven to want more kids. That's just like the procreation of the human race. It makes sense that I'm feeling this way, and I feel like mentally in the last few days I've been more stable and aware, and so I can recognize that it's not like this really sad emotional pull that like I'll never be able to fulfill. It's more of like a hormone driven, I feel this way because of science, I guess is what I'm trying to say. However, I feel like deep down I don't feel like we're done having kids. Brad deep down 100% feels like we're done having kids. Like I said, there's no point in even talking about it anymore, because it's not gonna happen right now is the ultimate answer. Like if it does happen someday, that's wonderful, but it's not gonna be right now, and neither one of us want it to be right now. So it's okay that we're not on the same page right now, because a lot can change in the next few years. It is fun for me to picture our lives with another baby. It's also fun for me to picture our lives with the babies that we have, and like just recognizing that we are ultra super uber duper blessed with the 3 beautiful kids that we were able to conceive, 2 through IVF and 1 naturally. And I don't know, there was a time where I didn't know if we would have any. There's my date. I'm talking to my friends. How are the kids?
Good. Eloise is awake.
Okay. Had to get Eloise up from her nap. So I don't remember what I left off with, but I do know that this topic, it probably feels like we've beaten a dead horse. I hate that expression, but I don't, what other expression says the same thing? But there's so many layers to this topic of like, it's just something that like, I guess whenever Brad and I when we were engaged, our pastor who married us met with us and did some abbreviated premarital counseling because she lived in Kansas City. We were here at the lake. She ended up coming down to the lake for a weekend and just like hanging out with us. One of the questions that she asked us was, how many kids do you want? And we both said 2, maybe 3. I feel like that's a good question to ask people who are getting ready to get married, because you want to know if your partner and you are completely not on the same page. Like if one wants kids for sure, like a lot of them, and the other one knows for certain they don't ever want kids, you'd probably want to know that before you got married. But hearts change all the time, and I'm like living proof of that, because when I was pregnant with Eloise, definitely did not want to go through a pregnancy ever again. And now here I am at the point where like I feel like I know for certain we will have more. So I don't know, it's just really interesting. I will of course respect Brad's wishes, and we cannot have another kid without coming to an agreement, because another kid will mean us going to South Carolina together and signing consent forms and transferring an embryo. With that said, I don't mean to like beat this topic into a pulp, but I just know from the comments that there's this cord hitting this cabinet, that sound is driving me nuts. I hope it's not bothering you guys. I know from the comments that there's a lot of people with a lot of different experiences on this topic, and I know that everybody has their story for how their family came to be or didn't come to be, or where their family stopped growing, and I feel like everyone knew when they were done. Like they just there was like an undeniable, we're done feeling. And I don't feel like I have that. But that doesn't mean that things won't change in the next couple of years. Once everybody's out of diapers and we're like able to travel again, I may have a complete change of heart and say, I do not want to go back to having no sleep and diapers again. So I don't know. Okay, this is getting really long. Not my hair, this video. I'm gonna meet back up with you when I'm putting my makeup over my old makeup. So I just trimmed my bangs real quick. I wear them like as bangs so infrequently that in between when I wear them, I have to, like, the next time I have to wear them, I have to trim them again, because I like pull them back and bobby pin them a lot. So hair is basically done. I might go through and tease. Sometimes I like to tease up here on the crown of my head, and then I need to do some makeup, and I might need to round brush my bangs, but then I'm done. So I'm just gonna finish up with my makeup here and chat with you while I do that, and then we're gonna be ready to go. I think we might go to, there's a winery pretty close by, and they have outdoor seating. The only problem is it's like really, like heat index over 100 right now. So sitting outside right at 6 o'clock is maybe not the best option, but what else are you gonna do in the middle of a global pandemic for a date night? I don't know. To kind of round out that whole conversation, the bottom line is Brad and I are a team, and whatever we decide, we will be deciding together. Nobody's gonna be forcing anybody into anything, and whatever happens is meant to be, and I truly believe that after having, you know, trouble getting pregnant and then having twins through IVF against the odds, and then having one naturally, completely against the odds. Whatever will be, that's for sure. And regarding date nights, let me know what you guys do to like keep consistency in having your dates, and if that's a priority to you. If you do have young kids, like how do you make that happen? If you're really good about doing like at-home dates, how do you do that? Like, do you cook dinner together? Do you wait until the kids go to bed? I guess part of our problem is our kids go to bed so late in the summertime. Like it's nice because they sleep in later, but they go to bed not long before we do. So it's just like not easy to put them down and then have a lot of time in the evenings. When the twins were little, they had a much earlier bedtime than they do now, and then Eloise does now. So it was a lot better in terms of like our relationship and getting some one-on-one alone time after they went down. But I really like the idea of having like a day of the week that you set aside as your date night, and like in the beginning of the week you kind of look at what is going on that week and what you can possibly do. And I think what Jordan Page and her husband do is they alternate who plans it. So one plans one week, the next plans the next week, so not one person is like taking the brunt of having to plan the dates. And then for their anniversary and Valentine's Day, I think they alternate years. So one does Valentine's Day, the other does the anniversary one year, and then the next year they switch. So they are like ultra organized though. So I think that's something that we would be like, who planned Valentine's Day last year? I don't know, let's just order pizza. That's more likely what we would do. But okay, I think we're about ready. I'm just gonna put a little lip color on. Do I need blush? I need a little blush. I'm usually more of a bronzer person in the summer, but I haven't been in the sun much. I need a little more color. And then Burt's Bees lip color has been my favorite. This one I have not used for a while, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go on. Not bad. And then this lip color I've been using like probably since we started our channel. So, all right, well I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I have some fun stuff coming up on this channel that I've filmed already and then I'm just editing and hoping to get out in the future. So subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next week. Bye.